It's time for our daily dose of Cope, and we have Masha Katznipp at the correspondence desk today for the Leopards News Network. We're going to jump right in because I have a few stories to get to today. This story made me laugh out loud. Anti-woke dad who fled with family to Russia sent to war zone. He needed to escape those woke people, the woke people that wanted gay folks to get jobs, non-white people to have jobs, women to have jobs. He had to get away from those people. Now he's on the front lines and he does not speak Russian. And this made my heart swell. I am going to do the whole post, but this is them talking about how they came over to Russia 2 months ago. They're starting a new life and everything. They don't know the language, though. They're escaping America and its wokeness, embracing other people and going over here to Russia, who's embroiled in a war. But let's look at the whole article. This goes perfectly with this. An American father who moved to Russia to avoid LGBTQ indoctrination for his kids is being sent to the front lines in Ukraine despite being assured he would serve in a non-combat role. Derek Huffman, 46, feels he is being thrown to the wolves after being told that his job in the military would be as a correspondent or as a welder. His wife, Deanna, said in a recorded plea for prayers, which has since been removed from her YouTube page. Huffman has no prior military experience, Deanna said, adding that his limited training was conducted in Russian. She suggested the language barrier has made her husband particularly unprepared for the horrors of combat. Now, I'm wondering which one is worse. Their children learning something about some LGBTQ people or being on the front lines in a war that just won't stop. Jesus Louises, oh my goodness, okay. These people. Oh my gosh, these people. Okay, I'm sorry, let me get back to the article. Unfortunately, when you're taught in a different language and you don't understand the language, how are you really getting taught? She pondered. You're not. So unfortunately, he feels like he's been thrown to the wolves right now, and he's kind of having to lean on faith. And that's what we're all doing. Huffman joined the military in the hope of gaining Russian citizenship for his family through an expedited process. He also felt such service would allow him to earn the respect of his new countrymen, which is something he once said migrants in the United States refuse to do. The point of this act for me is to earn a place here in Russia, he told Russian state media last month. If I risk myself for our new country, no one will say that I am not part of it, unlike migrants in America who come there just like that, do not assimilate, and at the same time want free handouts. Undocumented migrants cannot join the U.S. military during peacetime. A program launched by former President George W. Bush allows such immigrants to seek citizenship by serving in the military, but that pathway was shuttered during President Donald Trump's first term. Deanna, 42, suggested her husband had been misled during the military recruiting process. She added that after a month of service, her family had yet to receive any pay. When he signed up and had all of that done, he was told he would not be training for 2 weeks and going straight to the front line. But it seems as though he is getting one more week of training closer to the front lines, and then they are going to put him on the front lines. I clicked into their Twitter just to see what a couple of the comments might have said. This is the first comment that I see underneath her post. Christian says, I'm following not out of support, but because of curiosity how this all ends. And he does a laughing emoji. He said, you went to Russia to support a genocidal regime in unaliving Europeans. Now you got your genocidal regime life as ordered. And because Derek is apparently of no use to the Russians, he will go straight to the meat grinder. And this person pointed and is saying, ha ha. This person at the bottom says, of any conservative state you could choose, and you choose Russia. LOL. Back to the article. Huffman moved his family to a village outside of Moscow in spring. It was launched by American blogger Tim Kirby, who has lived in Russia for 2 decades, in 2023 to attract Americans seeking escape from the liberal gender norm. That project has been a flop, with United 24 Media reporting that only 2 families, including the Huffmans, have moved in. Huffman, a native Texan, brought his wife, 3 daughters, and their family husky baby with him to Russia. The couple also have 3 sons from prior marriages who opted to remain in the United States. And those 3 sons were probably the smartest people because the 3 sons know that they would probably be at the front lines with Huffman. Huffman's admiration for Russia runs deep. The Russian state-operated news agency RIA Novista reported last month that the couple honeymooned in Moscow. Deanna says she was not surprised that her husband wanted to volunteer for the Russian military, even as it is in its 3rd year of a bloody war with Ukraine. Ukrainian officials estimated this week that more than 1 million Russian soldiers have died in the conflict, which continues to rage on despite President Trump's demands for peace. It doesn't come as a surprise to me, she said of his joining the military. He always spoke so highly of the country, its president, and its people, and he has a strong passion for doing the right thing. That one is a wild one. They're from Texas. I'm totally sure they could have found a conservative place to live, but now he's on the front line, and I have absolutely no F's to give about their current situation because that was literally dumb. This is a post in the Leopards Ate My Face. It's titled, "Racist Vote Cost Him His Job." Now, this is a YouTube video that I did not play. It's just basically he voted for Trump. It cost him his job. Here's the caption that summarizes his video. All right, Venus says, "This is the story of an electrician who worked on green energy projects and voted for Trump because he agreed with Trump's racist ideas on immigrants and immigration. He was told what you vote for affects you, but he didn't believe it." Trump has canceled billions of dollars going towards green energy investments, causing massive layoffs of electricians. The electrician lost his job after being a new father and now admits that Biden did good things in his administration, such as invest in green energy. He was investing in green energy, infrastructure, trying to lay out fiber optics so that people could have internet in rural communities. He was trying to bring down the cost of drugs. But these people said, nope, we don't want cheaper drugs. We don't want jobs. We don't want infrastructure rebuilt in this country. Absolutely not. And so now these people, because of their issues with immigrants and trying to get these people documented or whatnot, now they are suffering from it, because of their vote. And I am here for them getting exactly what they voted for. A couple of comments on this post. DJ Watt says, "A Trump-supporting racist loses his job because of his vote. Soothing words to read." Kilroy Legs says, "I agree. I have no sympathy for him. I do, however, have sympathy for the people who voted against Trump and are getting screwed like this." Equality Love says, "Yep, it's the rest of us that were the collateral damage. They put the bullets in the chamber and pulled the trigger directly at us knowingly. No sympathy whatsoever for these awful people." And at the bottom, this person says, "Racists voted for a rapist and got screwed." I really hope that that it feels good every day, knowing that they don't have any money. He has to support a family. He has a wife at home with a new child, and now he gets to stress over what he did. This next part is a little interesting. I was looking for this Leave Britney Alone person on TikTok. I was scrolling through because of how MAGA is descending upon Trump. And I saw somebody that was sarcastically saying, "Leave Trump alone." And I was like, this would be perfect to have this person's video, the Leave Britney Alone person. So as I was scrolling, I found out that this person...
"You're lucky she even performed for you bastards! Leave Britney alone! Please!" Perez Hilton talked about professionalism and said if Britney was a professional, she would have pulled it off no matter what.
I didn't know this, but the Leave Britney Alone person is Kara now. It's Kara, and she's a trans woman who voted for Trump. She willingly voted for Trump, and then right after the election, you can see the date of this video, she took to her TikTok page to explain why the Democrats lost. The Democrats were out here just simply, I'll let her explain in her own words. I took a clip of this video, the first part of it.
For weeks, we're going to be hearing the left come up with convenient truths about how this happened that Trump won. And if you really are invested in wanting to know how this happened and not just having angry excuses while you're grieving, I will tell you how this happened. The left should be self-reflecting instead of projecting. They're going to be justifying, blaming independent voters, Republicans, etc. This wasn't about the patriarchy. This wasn't about race, sexism, homophobia, or transphobia. This was a rejection of political correctness to the point of overcorrection.
And since everybody knows that she is a Trump supporter, they do try to inundate her comments. She turns off her comments quite a bit. But obviously, people are like, look at what you voted for, especially as Republicans work diligently to strip the rights of LGBTQI people. They are really diligent about stripping rights, but these people really feel, I don't know, they don't even feel bad for what they have helped usher in. And that is strange to me.
All I'm going to say is that you have a really big blind spot here that you need to self-correct if you're interested in winning elections ever again, which is people are tired of identitarianism, number one. Let me finish. And number two, you're assuming that everyone who voted for Trump is socially conservative. You're going based off of the memification of what a Trump voter is. Do you know how many Trump voters I know who consider themselves, like me, to be small L libertarians or independents, so on and so forth? Just people who were tired of the snake eating its tail and making the rules up as they go. Do you know how many people would just look you in the face and say, yes, I support gay marriage. I don't care what a trans person does. The bottom line for me is I am tired of these made up rules as they go, where we call everyone a fascist who doesn't think like us. We're not allowed to have simple dialogue. We're not allowed to just have normal conversation. The obsession with identitarianism is something I'm going to keep repeating. It is how you lose sight of your identity, not only as a political party, but as an individual. And when you say things like being gay is liberal, being trans is liberal, like you did in your comment, you are summing someone's entirety down to just that. Number one. So they have no intellectual capability outside of who they want to fuck or how they want to dress on the outside or what surgeries they want to have. That's silly. And number two, you're doing a disservice to your own self and your own party if you don't self-correct this notion. Respond to this, and I made like
I don't think her face has been eaten yet, but I do wonder what she thinks about each night when she goes to bed.
There is no list. Because there was a list, but Biden and Obama and Hillary Clinton, they made the list so they could hurt Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is not on the list. Even though they made the list. No, Trump not on list. There is no list. But Trump not on list. But there is no list. Why Biden not release list that does not exist? Answer that. Why Biden not release list that does not exist? Let's go, the orange land.